I woke up one crisp morning to the sound of water dripping in the background, a gentle reminder that even the most serene households could be punctuated by unforeseen mishaps. I found myself face to face with a leaking toilet, its persistent drip echoing the question that had lingered in my mind for weeks. Should I call a handyman or a plumber? As I stood in my modest kitchen admiring the interplay between warmth and light, I began to reflect on how seemingly minor home repairs could spiral into dilemmas about cost, expertise, and overall peace of mind. The scene was simple: an ordinary bathroom with gleaming tiles and a polished fixture that now suffered from a nagging leak. I felt a mix of frustration and curiosity as I observed the gradual damage. The water provided subtle clues that the problem could potentially worsen if left unattended. Far from dramatic, this everyday malfunction unlocked a broader narrative about who to trust with the repair and whether a handyman might offer a more budget-friendly fix than a specialized plumber. I recalled past experiences and the buzzing chatter from neighbors about the escalating costs of professional plumbing services. Many voiced concerns that plumbers, though skilled, sometimes charged premium rates for what might be straightforward repairs. On the other hand, a handyman was often recommended by friends as a reliable solution for small fixes, jobs that required a practical approach over technical precision. This conversation in my mind was further enriched by memories of watching local handymen efficiently tackling tasks that involved a mix of maintenance, installation, and repair, all done with a relaxed confidence that made them approachable and cost-effective. While pondering this, I recalled the day I called in a handyman for a leaky faucet, a minor inconvenience that blossomed into a memorable lesson. The evening had been calm as I explained the situation to the handyman, who arrived with a tool belt slung over his shoulder and a genuine smile. His calm demeanor radiated not only expertise, but also a balanced understanding that sometimes a simple fix did not warrant an overly specialized professional. Yet buried in those reflections was the abiding truth. If the leak were part of a more complicated plumbing system, or if there were signs of deeper issues, it might indeed be more prudent to seek the focused expertise of a plumber. In this narrative, my thoughts dance between caution and practicality, guided by the belief that the type of repair largely dictates the professional intervention needed. For minor repairs such as a toilet leak or a faucet replacement, many found that handymen offered a more cost-effective alternative, a notion underpinned by stories of efficient service and minimal fuss. Not only did a handyman bring a multi-skilled approach, but his pricing was often transparent and directly tied to the scope of work rather than the technical complexities that might inflate a specialized services fee. This consideration, which floated like a reassuring beacon amidst the rising tide of repair worries, also sparked conversations about fairness in home repair pricing. Conversely, the narrative shifted as I envisioned scenarios where the precision of a plumber was indispensable. I recalled situations where a minor leak turned out to be symptomatic of aging pipes, a problem that necessitated detailed diagnostics and expert intervention. In those instances, the additional cost was justified by the promise of a robust, long-term solution to prevent further complications. The narrative here was one of balance, recognizing that while handymen excel at general repairs, specialized services like plumbing demand a depth of training and experience that sometimes warranted the higher price. I experienced this duality in my own journey as a homeowner. The gentle interplay of risk and reward often dictated whether I would favor a cost-effective handyman or opt for a more detailed exploration of potential plumbing issues with a professional plumber. As I continued reflecting on my leaking toilet, I observed that the decision was not merely a matter of comparing prices or service calls. It involved an honest assessment of the problem at hand, a recognition of one's comfort in troubleshooting, and even a willingness to invest in preventive maintenance. The leaking toilet was more than a minor inconvenience. It was a call to understand when simple fixes sufficed and when a deeper dive into the system was required. I recalled a time when ignoring a small drip resulted in water damage that escalated repair costs dramatically. That memory was a valuable reminder that while handymen offer an affordable solution for minor inconveniences, crucial decisions must also consider long-term impacts. In the end, my mind settled on the thought that each repair situation warranted its own thoughtful approach. A handyman could indeed be the ideal professional for small repairs, providing a satisfactory resolution with a degree of flexibility and a price that often felt fairer. However, it was equally clear that when water was involved, whether a small leak or a sign of systemic deterioration, the specialized training of a plumber often translated into a higher degree of service and reassurance. The balance lay in making a careful assessment of the task. A quick fix might well be served by the approachable handyman, but persistent or complicated problems demanded the meticulous hands of a skilled plumber. This experience, framed by the gentle hum of water and the soft glow of morning light, ultimately deepened my understanding of home maintenance. It was a blend of personal reflection, practical decision-making, and trust in those who fix our everyday challenges. The narrative of my leaking toilet resonated with many who have faced similar crossroad decisions between affordability and expertise, a modern-day story that balanced caution with cost-effectiveness and ultimately the well-being of the home.